our life in boxes, erasing the memories so you won't notice. I'm taking the time to focus. You're by yourself, I'm by myself. Wish I could solve your problems. They're stuck on my wall like neon paintings, and I'm so tired of being honest to everyone by myself. I do it so well. We were so good at flying, but we can't keep flying. We keep getting stuck on the wrong side of the mountain. We were so good at trying, but we can't keep trying, 'cause we only end up on the wrong side of the mountain. We gave it so many chances. When we saw the signs, we just kept dancing, and the nights always seemed so endless. Thought it would last, now it's in the past. We were so good at flying, but we can't keep flying. We keep getting stuck on the wrong side of the mountain. We were so good at trying, but we can't keep trying, 'cause we only end up on the wrong side of the mountain. And you I will always remember, when I'm dancing around with someone better. Until then I will pause forever. Keep taking my time through boxes and light. We were so good at flying, but we can't keep flying. We keep getting stuck on the wrong side of the mountain. We were so good at trying, but we can't keep trying, 'cause we only end up on the wrong side of the mountain. We were so good at flying, but we can't keep flying. We keep getting stuck on the wrong side of the mountain. So good at trying, but we can't keep trying. We only end up on the wrong side of the mountain.
Happy June, friends. Welcome back to another goal setting planning video. I hope you're doing well and your June is off to a good start. I started my monthly multi-part planning routine yesterday in my backyard, which was very necessary because I just need to spend some time outside, and sometimes I just don't like planning at my desk. And knowing that the next like July and August are going to be super hot and humid, figured it'd be the best time to go outside and milk it as much as I can. But as always, I kind of need to like simmer on my prep work and everything before I finalize my goals. And then I also have to transfer everything into my bullet journal, which is like kind of excessive, but not excessive. And in the past, I would also put everything digitally into Notion, but I haven't been using Notion, so I've just been kind of using Powersheets for like goal setting, intention setting, like to get the foundation in line. And then in my day-to-day, I'm in my bullet journal, which I've shared my spreads and everything in there. So I wanted to do like a proper Sheila Powersheets video with, I don't know if you guys notice like how I switch up my format or just structure of my videos, but it's just not, it never feels the same like how I go about sharing my goals and the whole process. And that's intentional on my part because I can't do things the same every single time. It just kills my creativity and I just have to switch things up. So I wanted to do a flashback to when I would just kind of do a very casual, chatty deep dive into how the previous month was and what my intentions and goals are for the month ahead. So I just want to go through first my May review. I feel like for the past few months I haven't been really sharing how my goals have been going. I'll just kind of, you know, the month ends and we do our next set of goals and I don't really talk about, you know, how the last month goals were going, or I don't know, it just seems like I haven't been doing that. So I just wanted to like literally go through my tending list and just kind of go through how things are going. I know next month will be like our mid-year check-in, so don't fret yet, friends. It's only June. We still have 7 months left of the year. I know a lot of people probably get confused when June hits. They think it's literally the halfway mark, but it isn't. We're only 5 months in. We still have 7 months in, so we have a whole nother month until July when quarter 3 starts, or season of summer starts, which is kind of how I go about tracking my quarters in my bullet journal. So just disclaimer, we still have all the time we need to do our goals. You're exactly where you need to be. You don't need to feel rushed or forced to work on your goals. Just a kind reminder. So if you remember, my May tending list was really intense. There was a lot of goals on there, and I was kind of just trying a lot of not trying new things, just adding more things on my goal list that I normally wouldn't do, i.e. cooking 1 to 2 nourishing meals at home every week. On the cooking front, I feel like I've been doing a lot better with trying to just be in the kitchen and cook meals and not feel like I'm wasting my time, which has been a struggle for me. And also talking to my best friend Alicia has really helped kind of get me inspired to be in the kitchen again. I think that's what I've been missing just in my life, like from the past 2 years, just like connection and community in different things like cooking or exercise. And I've realized how powerful it is to share and talk with friends or, you know, family, whoever you just feel comfortable sharing your goals with, and just kind of saying, hey, I'm struggling with this. Do you have any advice? Or just like how, you know, and that's kind of how the cooking thing came with Alicia. And I just told her I was really struggling to get inspired to cook at home, and she kind of shared some recipes that she uses, and like kind of understanding like things from her perspective really helped open my perspective and got me re-inspired to cook at home again. So yay for friends. The exercise front has been going really well as well. I started doing morning 5-minute walk videos on YouTube. So normally in the morning I will just, you know, get my yoga mat out, do yoga and meditate, but I've been trying to add in walking first. So I'll wake up, I'll do my 5-minute walk. Sometimes I'll do 2 videos from Kyra Pro, who I heard of her from Morgan Long, and I will link Kyra Pro's YouTube channel below because I've been really enjoying her walking videos. They're fun, the music's great, and they're kind of dancey too, and it gets me very motivated and excited in the morning. And they're only 5 minutes. She had like a 5-minute walking challenge, and you could just start that now. You could do any video, and she has other walking and like cardio videos as well if you want to increase your activity. But I feel like that's been going really well for me. I had to kind of just like scale back my expectations of what exercise and an exercise routine means for me, and just literally starting out with like 5 minutes of like walking has been really good, and I feel like I can build on that as we go through July and August. The doctor and dentist front. So I shared in my last video that I've been having jaw issues, and I was prompted from that to actually start finding a dentist. You know me, I procrastinate. I have to wait till the last minute or things become an emergency before I actually do things. Can we normalize that? Like that's fine. I accept that's my way of operating. So like the jaw thing was getting kind of bad, and I've kind of self-diagnosed myself with what it is, but I still want to go to the dentist just for a checkup and to get that situation checked out. So I have inquired to dentists, have not gotten one yet because some don't take my insurance, some don't have any open. It's a very complicated situation, which is what I was afraid of, like, and avoiding. So here we are, conquering my fears. I have not looked up doctors yet. That's kind of the next thing I do after the dentist, but we're on track, friends. Moving into my next goal, which was to work on my illustration club monthly prompt in a Mimi Moo Patreon group that I'm in. I did not complete that goal. Like, I didn't fully fill it out, but I have been really good at doing like the first 2 activities, which is like sketching out ideas and then putting compositions together. But I've been struggling with the final piece, like creating a full like illustration, either like with pencils or like digital, and I want to do a digital illustration, so I can get past the like sketching part, but when it comes to actually finishing and sharing a final piece, that's where I've been struggling. Gonna continue working on that. YouTube videos, I'm still on my YouTube, you know, schedule. I have moved my upload date around a few days, and I was talking to my friend Amanda about just like consistency and like upload schedule, and she made me feel a lot better about not posting like every week at the same time on the same day, because I feel like that just feeds into capitalism and hustle culture. And I still want to have a day where you guys can expect a video at a time frame, which now is like Sunday, like around noon. But life happens, and when YouTube is not my full-time job, I need to give myself grace. And if I post on a Monday or a Tuesday, that's completely fine. At least I'm posting weekly. Drawing every day has been going really well. I would say I'm sticking with that. And I think giving myself just 5 days a week instead of like every day has been amazing, and having those 2 days off to just take a break if I need it. And if I feel inspired to draw every day, cool, but I don't want to force myself to draw every day, and that's been working really well. Read 3 books. Okay, reading has been still kind of a struggle. I read 2 books during the month of May, and that's fine. That's okay. I think, again, I knew this was going to happen, and I don't want to talk about this again, but I feel more inspired to read more, and I think having the right kind of book can help with that situation. So I am going to be doing a reading vlog. I think that's going to be my next video after this one, just to kind of get back into holding myself accountable and sharing about the books that I'm reading with you guys, because that also inspires and motivates me to read more. Read the book of Nehemiah. My Bible scripture goals have been going pretty well. That's something that I just am on track with, and I feel like I don't need to talk too much about that. Transfer $850 to my savings for my student loan. I've been doing that. Like, once I get a paycheck, I try and transfer that money into my savings account, because at this point I'm saving up a large amount to make a larger payment towards my student loans at the end of the year. So that's been kind of the strategy that I've shifted a little bit in the past few months, and it's working for me. And again, weekly action items all kind of correlate with my monthly items. I just feel like I'm in a good place. May was chaotic and crazy in many senses, and I feel like I was able to kind of ground myself and soothe myself through those hard times. And I think having a support system and habits and tools that you can lean into to soothe yourself and practice self-care is really important. So for me, like drawing and friends and my therapist have all been kind of the things I've leaned on during these chaotic times. All right, so that is my May review. Now let's actually talk about June. Let's flip the page. So June is the end of quarter 2 or season 2, and in my mind it feels like summer's already here, although the summer solstice is not until like the 21st. But I think we're all pretty stuck within like the academic Gregorian calendar vibe, where once like June hits, it's like summer, hello. Even though I feel like once July hits, it's truly kind of more summer in like the seasonal sense. But anywho, I have 3 core intentions for this month, and like I said, I kind of did all my prep work in my Powersheets, but then I transferred a lot of that information into my bullet journal, so I have it on hand, because that's another thing that is a barrier for me, is that if I put it in here in my Powersheets, I'm not going to be looking at it every day. And that's kind of like part of the strategy to stick with your goals, is like having it in front of you every day. I've wrote things out like on a separate sheet of paper, on my bulletin board. I think just having things in different places where you can see it is really important, whether that's in your daily planner, in a digital format, whether it's Notion or Google Calendar or whatever. Find what works for you and look at your goals on a regular basis, because that's the only way you're really gonna like stick with it. So I want to start with June intentions, because that's kind of like how I like to start my planning. It's like I do my review, and then I see how the month went before and how I want to act and operate and what I want to focus on in the month ahead based on how I'm feeling now. So with all of that said, my June intentions, I kind of put it into the three C's, as you will. So we have connection, we have community, and we have creativity. Very, very summery, upbeat things for me. We're calling in the yellow. Yellow just makes me feel like summer and fun and very optimistic. And I think those are great feelings that I want to cultivate during the month of June. So connection for me just means connecting with friends and family and connecting with myself as well. So like staying in tune with what's going on with me emotionally, mentally, and having some solo dates as well can be really important, but also spending time with my partner and my friends and my family. Spinning off of connection, I have community as well, which includes making time to see friends this month and making time to see my family, because I haven't made time to see my family and I'm feeling a bit guilty, and I do miss them. So I am gonna try and go visit my parents this month, and just trying to have more space for socializing and friends. I've been kind of leaning into that towards the end of May and realizing that's great for my mental health, like seeing friends and, you know, doing things on the weekend really helps me in so many ways. So I want to make space for that during the month of June and really all summer. And also just like with you guys, like my online community, my online friends, just trying to, you know, reply to comments and posting more on Instagram and trying to cultivate, you know, the community that I've built so far on here and elsewhere. And creativity. Creativity is probably our biggest C because it just means the most to me. So I have two kind of like external things I'm participating in. They're in Patreon groups that I'm in. One is the illustration club that's part of Mimi Moo's Patreon, which I've mentioned before. So I just want to keep up with working on those illustration and drawing and sketching prompts and try and get a finished piece this month. I say that every month, but again, I think not forcing ourselves to do things when we're like learning a new hobby or skill is really important. The other prompt challenge that I'm participating in is in Morgan Long's Patreon. I will link all these things I'm mentioning down below, but Morgan Long is doing a June of Joys creative prompt. So every week there are going to be 4 different prompts, and they all are kind of like vague and simple, and they can be interpreted in many different ways. So not just with like drawing or painting, but you could use cooking or baking or gardening, just kind of like trying to fit it into what you consider creativity. So for me, I want to focus on drawing and digital illustration and a little bit of photography with that as well. And I think that's so beautiful for me. Again, I just like having these different areas that I can call inspiration from, and I think having that community aspect within the Patreon group and in the Discord servers and sharing, you know, more of myself and what I'm working on is really good for me, and I want to try and do that more. So we're correlating the creativity with the connection and the community. It all goes together, and I love that. Again, with creativity, I have a lot of bullet points. I want to do my daily sketching, continue with that goal, and then just share more on my art Instagram account, which will be linked below. Okay, so now into our actual Powersheets goals. Again, a lot of my goals are pretty much the same, and I think I want to focus on just creating and sharing a final digital illustration piece on my art Instagram account and doing at least one a month. I did complete one last month and shared and launched my Instagram, you know, for my art, and that was kind of a big deal for me. So getting that out in the open, it was a big hurdle, and now I'm more excited to kind of share my journey to learning how to draw and illustrate, and having community and you guys to support me is big. And we want to continue with the dentist and the doctor stuff. We're going to continue focusing on our health because that is very important. Weekly action items, and I think these all really kind of correlate with my intentions. They all spin off with each other. I want to continue cooking at home and doing my exercise and scripture routine and working on the illustration club activities once a week and doing the June of Joys weekly prompt as well. And my habits are pretty much all the same. I'm continuing working on my Spanish habit inside Duolingo, and I haven't really made any big strides, and I haven't really set any big goals either. I'm just continuing showing up and doing the daily, you know, practice inside of there. And when I do go visit George's family, I am trying to speak more in Spanish to his mom. And I think for me, like, speaking another language in front of people, especially when it's the people you're talking to, it's their native language, it gets me very nervous because I feel like I'm being judged. So doing it in front of her and also in front of George and like trying to speak has been helpful and encouraging for me, and I feel like I've been able to say some words and she understands, and we've been developing our, you know, our conversation since English is not her first language. So I feel like that's a pretty big thing that I should be celebrating more. So yay for learning another language. And like I said, everything is inside my bullet journal. I even planned and made my spreads all the way through the first week of July just because I know it's going to be busy and I want to have everything kind of ready for me. So we took some time and we got it all set up and we're good. And I really like my little monthly spread situation going on. I added my goals in this little pop-out thing. I put my intentions on my Dutch door. We're doing our best. We're doing our best. I'm really excited for this month. My battery is dying, so I'm going to end the video here before I keep rambling on. Let me know what your goals and intentions are for the month of June, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
End up on the wrong side of the